Today's programming has been brought to you in part by Anubis Unit, Thomas Duder, author of The Things, The Hooligans, and Massive Entertainment Publishing.
Damn, that's some super hot jailbait ass.
Oh, God.
And on that note, here we be, episode 1.
The official episode 1.
Yeah. Well, with us today we have a new featured guest, author J.S. Snow. Say hello to the fine people.
Hello, fine people from Orlando, Florida.
And of course, we got our panel today. Lead us off. Introduce yourselves right on.
It's Caboose.
Sputnik.
I'm Schneep.
And y'all oughta know who the hell I am, that bastard. Laughing and scratching, starting that shit.
You're a
Speaking
bastard.
Of which, I really wish we had something from Florida today because JS mentioned Florida, and I'm like, oh, isn't that the land of bath salts and crocodile and people shooting each other for no reason?
Pretty much, yeah.
The land of Dexter.
Dexter.
And Dexter,
Yeah.
That's right. South Florida, that's right. Give it up.
That sound you hear behind me is some idiot probably running his engine, like, fucking that up. Because I can hear that.
God.
Good.
I can hear it.
Oh, you
Okay.
couldn't? Oh, fuck. Well, on that note, let's start off some headlines we like. Jon Stewart is leaving! Oh my god,
God.
Daily Show. One of the finest...
I love Jon Stewart.
Yeah, one of the finest comedians out there. Except what's sad is that it's pretty sad when a comedian has to call you out for your political bullshit when other political parties won't. It's kind of weird. And not to mention, like, actual hardcore fucking newspaper places. You know, news media outlets.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
So
pretty
who knows
funny.
what we're gonna have?
Was
What?
he on CNN at one point?
I think he was on CNN, like, like, knocking people off their chairs. That's what's up.
I know he had a problem with some news station or some news network. No, it was NBC, CNN, and Fox News he doesn't like.
Oh, speaking about NBC, oh my god, speaking about headlines we like, Brian Williams, he lied and got 6 months suspension from NBC.
Oh my god.
In fact, if you guys have been following us on our Facebook page, you would have seen some of the photos we've been posting up, just because, holy shit, fuck this guy.
Didn't he like make up to my Iraq story that was the thing that he made up, and that's what got him
Yup,
6 months
that's the
suspension.
guy. And what's sad is that this is the guy that, like, you know, when other journalists, speak about journalism and such, this is the guy that I look up to. And this nigga lying, setting up shit, just make himself look good.
He looks like a dickhead.
Yeah. But, you know what's tricky?
Yeah, I
is-
can definitely see his head shape. In
From
Holy
a personal
fuck, he makes
perspective-
roughly $10 million a year just from working at NBC.
All based on a lie.
It's
Like, maybe not based on a lie, but
That's-
certainly strengthened by a lie.
Holy fucking
That's what I-
shit. What a
What trips me
douchebag.
out- when people tell me that I need to be more professional, this is the guy that they want me to be like, and I'm like, I have a sense of honor. No, thank you.
He was in the Family
So-
Guy. He was
Well-
on Family Guy.
he was on Family Guy, yeah.
Wait, he
And
was?
also,
Space Carpet episode.
wasn't Jimmy Fallon also made like several rap videos based on his stuff, and I
Oh
like,
yeah, that was hilarious.
yeah, I posted that on
Brian
my Facebook
Williams,
page.
yeah, that's on Jimmy Fallon. That was brilliant.
Oh, dude, wasn't it? It was Gin and Juice and Roll Out.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Now, speaking about how we are bad people and enjoying the downfall of other people, let's talk about something a little bit more uplifting. That one chick with Down syndrome from American Horror Story is now a model. We posted the link on the page by now. Yes, we've already laughed about it. Yes, we've already talked about how we're bad people about this. Yes,
Potato.
I do support this. Hey, by all means, all power to her, all positivity towards her, and I'm kind of glad that she's actually being spokesperson for people with Down syndrome in that case. But it's kind of like how we posted about that one Finnish punk band where it's like everyone's got Down syndrome and like 2 of them's got autism.
She doesn't even look like she has Down syndrome. If you look at
shut
the
up.
pictures. It's just all the makeup, though, that's covering it up.
Possibly. Now, admittedly, though, she did do a great job in American history, though, in Coven.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of the brighter spots of the thing.
I don't really watch it. That's on my list to watch on Netflix. But,
She was on
you know.
American Horror Story. Like, is that what you said, right?
Yeah, she was on Coven.
I regret never watching American Horror
Dude,
Story.
she
I
bothered
should.
me so
Dude,
much.
you should check that out. So good.
She showed up to the house and I was like, why is she not dead? Like I don't want her to die, but I'm like, why is she dead yet?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Hang on.
Shanice, don't give away too much.
Well, if you haven't watched it by now, freaking watch it.
Yeah, true. But this isn't like
Rude
a watch
for all
where
of
it's like you got 20 years. It's been 20 years. It's not a spoiler.
People who complain about Breaking Bad spoilers.
I'd still say Watchmen. Is spoiling Watchmen is one of the best things ever because there's always somebody who's gonna whine about it, and it's like, dude, you've had 20 years. Don't even start this shit.
Yeah, Dumbledore dies. Oh, what?
I did that.
I liked when Dobby died.
Riley, give me that beef.
Oh, well, I guess
enjoyed
Dan Brazilian has some sort of Twitter beef with some kid that I guess he's semi-famous. I think he's like a blogger.
Did you say Dan Bilzerian or Brazilian?
I don't even know how to pronounce his name. All I know is he's a douchebag.
So he's just, oh yeah, he was a blogger, and yeah, he's just starting up some beef with some kids.
I can't find the article that explained what happened, but basically they were going on about, they were just having like a flame war towards each other, and Dan gave him an offer to fight in a boxing ring. He offered
didn't he like give him like $7 million or something if he did it per round, some shit like that?
Like
no, it was something less than that. It was like 100,000, something like that.
Really sure it was 50 grand. But either way, I'm sorry. Okay, two things. One, Uwe Boll did the same thing like, 10 years back where he beat up Low Tax and Slow Beef and like some other guy, some kid that was listening to like, Conan the Barbarian, the soundtrack before he went in there. And he whooped up on all three of them because he's a Golden Gloves fighter. But still, Uwe Boll of all people who makes like the worst movies, except for like, say, Postal or something, which is really weird that he even has good movies.
I think I posted the article on
the page.
Yeah, no, I did not.
Oh, well, we'll find it. But so I find it weird that, here's the other thing to consider. Twitter beef is like the new VH1. Do you guys remember the show? Do you remember that channel, VH1? I think it's still alive even. They used to actually play music and stuff, but they also showed like a lot of the beef that was going down. Like Vince Neil and, the guy from Poison and the guy from Motley Crue were like, I'll show up at your house, we'll fight. Meet me anytime, we'll fight. And they never fought.
Yeah, he offered him.
Did he accept it? I mean, 50 grand. I'll step into the ring and fuck him up. I don't care.
Yeah, Dan Brazilian to fight a blogger for $250,000 after avoiding jail time for bomb charges.
What?
Yeah, his name is Nick Ritchie, some shit like that. Yeah, Nick Ritchie.
That's kind of funny.
250 grand. No, dude, no. We can meet in the back alleyway and whoop ass. I'm sorry. 250 grand? Ooh.
He sounds like one of those white kid Dan sounds like one of those douchebag white kids that are like, come on, meet me somewhere and I'll beat your ass.
Not just white kids do that, though. Growing up in California, I got a lot of that from, like, little Cholito essay wannabes, too,
I never understood about those, like, meet me and fight me. It's like...
I mean, why would you want to fight someone over a Twitter beef?
No, the biggest issue is just fight right then and there. Why do you have to plan the fight? Who, like, goes, meet me 7 o'clock, bus station, tomorrow, Friday. I'm sorry, I can't go on Friday. My grandma's sick. Or how about Sunday?
Fight me. I bet my food stamps that I beat your ass, man. Yes.
I mean, I was in the same dilemma not too long ago. This kid wanted to beat my ass because I started some shit with him on Facebook. And it was kind of pointless. I don't know why he even got mad over me trolling him on Facebook.
The person that I kept, like, linking to how what he's doing is, like, a felony.
Yeah, he was starting to kill me and all this. I'm like, okay.
And I stepped in and started posting a bunch of links to, like, the laws saying that, dude, you're committing felonies and not even trying to act it up. Then he started talking about, admitting that he had a bunch of drugs in his house and all of this shit. He's like, alright, you're just stacking felonies on top of felonies, dude.
I mean, how stupid can you be? I mean, there's not giving a fuck, and then there's not giving a fuck and committing felonies and being an idiot.
Yeah. Now, suffice it to say, I mean, that's just, like, part of the issue of nowadays. There's a lot of fools talking a lot of smack and not backing it up. But then again, don't forget also the mask of anonymity can always will turn you into a total fucktard. People will talk smack and then no backup, and because they don't have to. They're anonymous. They can say whatever they want on the internet, even if it's on Facebook. Now, here's the problem though. That kind of shit will hang around. And yes, people are checking out Facebooks nowadays. Hell, that one, I know I'm just throwing this out there out of nowhere, but one of the headlines that showed up nowadays was somebody got a new job, but then called it a fuck-ass job on their Twitter, and somebody at said fuck-ass job showed it to the boss, and the boss fired them over Twitter. It was awesome. People just don't have basic respect nowadays on the internet. It's part of the issues.
Well, it's not just basic respect, it's also basic common sense.
Yes.
It's also basic federal law. Once you post something to the World Wide Web, it becomes community property. It becomes, your copyright infringement goes to shit. It becomes public domain. And all rights that you have to it. So, like, what I find really fucking funny is when those chain letters go out at the beginning of the year that say, you know, I hereby tell Facebook that they don't have the right to repost my shit and blah, blah, blah. I laugh my ass off. I'm going, you guys are just colossal idiots.
Snopes.com.
Because the second you post anything to Facebook, they own it. Period.
Now,
it's on their servers. They own it.
Yeah, and what's sad is that so many people don't know how to Google foo Snopes.com. Or how about just go to Snopes.com? I mean,
what was Snopes.com? What was that about?
Snopes is a place, it's a fact-checking place. Now, not everything they say is true. In fact, you can Snopes.com, Snopes.com. And much like Rotten, or not Rotten, but, well, Rotten.com, yeah. It's kind of like if you go to Yelp or PissedOffConsumer.com or AngryConsumer.com, and you can actually look up AngryConsumer.com. People will complain about them on AngryConsumer.com. That's wonderful.
Wait, is Snopes.com? I thought isn't it like rumors has it? Isn't it like completely rumors?
It's something like that. Basically, they're the people who, like, if there's an urban legend, they'll fact check it, you know, or at least look into it. Or still, you know, at least they'll do enough research to say, well, yeah, that's wrong, or, you know, this is actually right, this is what's going down. You know what is going down, though, and I'm looking forward to? BattleBot's coming back, y'all. Oh, my damn. Who here remembers BattleBots? It was, like, one of the greatest shows ever.
Wasn't it like that weird show where they, like, made a bunch of really awesome robots and they fought each other in the ring?
Yes! Oh,
yeah, that show was fucking awesome. I remember coming home and watching that every day.
It was like on cable, and it was like, you know, had 10 viewers or something. And, you know, they just, I mean, they were really cool looking. But is that the show?
No, but there is a show like that. No, this one wasn't actually. This one was actually like on A&E or something like that. And BattleBots, there was like these little Roombas with knives on them. But they had like really cool. It was kind of like American Gladiators with robots. They had these made for the show only robots that had like sledgehammers. One of them grabbed you or grabbed one of the other robots and was able to like buzzsaw them in half. It was some good shit. BattleBots is great. Like, I watched that for like 2 or 3 seasons. It was just the bomb, yo. I really wish they had self-destructing robots, though. Just, you know, get that Allahu Akbar in there.
Oh, my God.
Representing Israel.
God damn it.
ISIS bot.
ISIS bot.
Speaking about headlines that piss us off. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. So, that one guy who killed those 3 Muslims. Actually, that's not ISIS related, my bad. So, a guy popped off and killed 3 Muslims, but here's the thing, though. I'm hearing conflicting reports about this. They had the general surge of, oh, he's a bigot, it's a white guy who killed 3 Muslims, you know. Oh, they were suspected ISIS, but from what I'm hearing, the other side of the story is, this really is just one guy popping off and going nuts about parking spaces. And Lord knows people have been killed for less reasons. But the media is really seizing on the fact that it's a white guy who killed 3 Muslims. So that's kind of pissing me off.
Wait, I need to get this clear. You think that it wasn't about race, right?
It might not be about race.
All right, because I couldn't tell if you were like thinking. No. I can't tell if you were saying it was or it wasn't.
No. There's a history on his Facebook. Once again, Facebook profiles, public information. He's been publicly supportive of Muslims, apparently, of the Muslim movement itself, the religion itself. He's been very anti-ISIS. He's been very anti-terrorist, but also anti-extremist. The media tried to make him seem like he's a hardcore atheist, and in fact, that was like the first fucking thing I saw. It was on Daily Kos, and they were pointing out that Fox News and other, NBC, other traditional media outlets trying to make it seem like, oh, and a militant atheist killed 3 Muslims today. And no. If you check, apparently he's got a history of losing his shit over their Muslim neighbors over their parking space. Apparently they've been parking in front of his house or whatever. I don't know. Something about some shared parking space. They keep taking it up, and just one morning he lost his fucking nuts and shot all 3. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't a tragic event anyway. These 3 Muslims, it should be noted, 2 of them were, feeding the poor, were very active in the community. One of them was mentioning wanting to go to Syria and give free dental work. I mean, these are 3 very beautiful lives that were snuffed out. I don't give a fuck what your religion is or your religious bent. You know what I mean? You got to recognize that kind of stuff, and it really does suck that it happened. But it's the conflicting reports that's really that's grinding my gears. And even worse, it's media fueled and led once again.
So it's basically just the Iraqi war, just on home front?
Yeah. Yeah, only now it's a whitey killed 3, Muslims. Yeah. Speaking about psychos, what about that one Republic cunt who lost his mind about rape that provides children is beautiful? You heard about that shit?
I never did actually.
Oh my god, I'm going to find that article and link it into this video because you guys need to read this motherfucker. Oh my god. Oh my god. And it would be different if it was like he just mentioned it in passing and then later on went, "Oh no, I didn't mean that. I was drunk." It's like, "Please say that you're drunk." It's just some people are so caught up in their dogma that they can't see the forest for their, if not for the trees. You know what I mean? If not for the trees. It's some crazy shit, man. And this is our government. This is our government.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna provide a link to every single one of these articles and such in the description if you guys want to give your own opinions and such.
If you guys want to check them out and read them.
Yeah.
We like to give citations, motherfucker. This is college.
This is college.
Citation needed.
Citation needed. Oh, somebody ripping on my line.
Do you write in APA?
I do sometimes. I do. I enjoy the perversion of the English language, so, I write APA ironically.
So, recently what happened... Sorry.
Oh, no, go for it, Isaac.
So, recently what happened was Law and Order... There was this, special type of thing that they make. It's called Law and Order Special Victims Unit. And I, myself, don't mind Law and Order to begin with. I don't mind it. I don't watch it a whole lot, but I've definitely seen episodes about it. But now I do mind it. So, there was this episode that they released for Special Victims Unit that was about Gamersgate.
Oh shit!
In Gamersgate, as you guys don't know, to sum it up, it's basically about gaming journalism and how some parts of it is corrupt and all of this shit because of Zoe Quinn apparently. Wait, no, I think it was the fact that she had sex with one of the what do you call them, reviewers.
Five Guys Burgers and Fries. No, what? Just to throw it out there, now, okay, we're already going to be getting a lot of people going, "That's not what it's about." But no. Let me point out something real quick. First and foremost, Outcast Radio is all about our opinions. We're the View with less dicks. That's.
Oh my god.
Hey, I'm just saying. Just saying. But straight talk though, you may disagree about what Gamersgate is about, but basically because I've been following that shit myself. I know many I know even some anti-Gamersgate people, and while we may disagree, we disagree respectfully. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to throw this out there that once again, just to reiterate what Sputnik just said, Gamersgate is all about ethics in gaming journalism. The fact that some of them are paid off by certain entities, mainly the video game devs, to give them a good rate, and in some cases are offered sex. And this has been already put out there. This has already been proven, and it's just, oh my fucking god, it makes me lose my mind. Now, even worse, there are certain quote-unquote SJWs who will use this for their advantage. Now, in Law and Order SVU, I'm sorry that I just kind of ran over you, Sput. But I just got to throw it out there because I love it. There was an amalgamation of, Brianna Wu, Zoe Quinn, and Anita Sarkeesian, except unlike all three of those, she not only delivered a video game on time and showed up despite threats, she was also, really kind of honorable or some shit. But that's not what made the episode funny. It was that they fucked it up.
It's funny, because you would assume that an episode like this would completely, like Anita Sarkeesian would be, jerking her dick off with it because of how great it was. But, no, she hated it. She said, let me see if I can find exactly what she said. It was, I don't think I'd be able to find exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines of, hold on a sec.
I think I know what you're talking about, and she did tweet about that, yeah.
Yeah, she said... Let's see if I can find it. But she said, and I quote, "Predictably, this week's Law and Order SVU was sickening. They trivialized and exploited real-life abuse of women in gaming for entertainment."
Fuck that bitch.
I would like to point out something. If the female character is too strong, suddenly they're, according to Anita Sarkeesian, and she's been quoted as far as this goes, if the character's too strong, then it de-empowers women because it makes them seem more masculine. If they're too feminine, then it's a sexual object.
Oh yeah, that was based off of what she said about the about Dying Light. She actually she said
that? Let's not do that again.
Let's not cover it again.
Oh my god, no.
But
suffice to say, that's That's definitely a headline that pisses us off.
They completely missed the point of Gamersgate because instead of like saying they never once mentioned about gaming journalism in the entire episode. The entire episode was somehow related to like the beginning of the episode was like them playing a game, and then they like beat up some like chick who was releasing a game that was like related, kind of like the game that Anita Sarkeesian, not Anita Sarkeesian, just Zoe Quinn was making or whatever.
Depression Quest.
Yeah, and then but what I find it funny enough is they like said that they were a group of hackers called like it was like Red Chan, and they accomplished pissing off Reddit and 4chan at the same exact time, all in one episode.
You know what could have saved them is if they got dog curtains.
Yeah.
They got a dog and they got curtains. Say J.S.
Yes. Hello.
I don't quite know your stance on 50 Shades of Grey. Goddamn movie. But I'm about to pop off on something. I'm not going to pop off on the movie itself. I've done enough of that, and I don't even want to give them any more, views. Outside of, why aren't the social justice warriors jumping on this shit? In one of our conversations, Sputnik brought it up. Why aren't the SJWs jumping on this shit? Do they think that this is empowering to women? I mean, I'm just saying.
You know something? I think everybody has taken this whole 50 Shades of Grey like it is just the cat's meow. It is not.
Oh, yes, I love you.
Simple. Let me just put this in simple terms. E.L. James is a fucking genius, and here's why. Yeah. She made mommy porn, and she made BDSM acceptable and be able to be talked about in the mainstream. She hit the jackpot, just like J.K. Rowling hit it, just like Stephanie Meyer hit it. She has just simply hit the author jackpot. There are far other better New York Times bestselling authors that made this subject printable and readable that is far more hardcore than E.L. ever would think about. Christian Grey as a dominant is actually quite soft. Yeah. Now, I'm not putting down the books. I've actually read all 3 books about 8 times each, and the reason being is because of character development. Seeing the characters grow up was an education for me and assisted me in my writing. I don't write BDSM, but it was still fascinating to see these characters grow up because they're 2 very young characters. But if you want a list of some hardcore BDSM one-handed reads, hit me up. I will just hook you up. But she made it mainstream.
Did you ever read the Kushaline series? Kushiel's Legacy, Kushiel's Dart?
No.
Oh, those are excellent BDSM. Oh my god! And
I like a good BDSM story with a heart, and I think that's why also too this series was so successful is because you have a love story. Now everybody, going apeshit and going to the movie theaters, and this is all that they can freaking talk about. I get it. The same thing happened during the whole Twilight Saga. The same thing happened during Lord of the Rings. The same thing happened during Harry Potter. It'll blow over soon enough, and we'll all get back to normal.
Now, here's the thing. I thoroughly disagree as far as the writing style. The writing style was horrid. And
it's in first person, and that, I don't write in first person. I write in third. I write in narrative, but her writing style made Anna come off a little bit whiny.
A little bit whiny.
Yeah, okay, a lot whiny. But again, I don't know. When authors tend to be cautious when criticizing a writing style towards others, because I've had my writing style attacked recently, and it stings, it hurts, okay? And she I don't know, she's got some brilliant fucking marketing behind her, because holy shit, she is one rich bitch now.
Yeah,
she's set for life.
I will thoroughly agree with you completely in that, my God, she had, now, for all that I dislike it, I will not knock on the success of it. I'll knock on the reasons why, but on the other hand, she has some marketing genius behind her. But that's the name of the game, though. If you have a good marketing group, your shit's gonna be gold. Even if it's pure shit wrapped in gold foil, it's gonna be. It's like I was saying earlier. You know what? You could have a fuck shit stack where you had the foundation based on pure shit, basically 50 Shades of Grey. But if you have it wrapped in gold foil and smelling like roses, it's going to sell.
And you know something? She is one of us. She's an author, and because of her, because of Stephanie Meyer, because of J.K. Rowling, because of so many authors out there where their books just took off and went supernova, it introduced people to reading. For me, this is a very personal thing where I had stepped away from actually reading for a long time so I could raise my daughter. Reading was a hobby of mine. I stepped away from that and I raised my child, and a friend of mine at work loaned me 50 Shades of Grey when it first came out. I picked it up, I decided to give it a read, I fell in love with it. But what I fell in love with most of all was was my love of reading. And E.L. brought me back into the fold on that. And in June 2013, my writing career began from that. So it's a love-hate thing for me. I'm very grateful to E.L. James for re-sparking my love of reading and for also launching my writing career. But I wish her the best of success. But as an author who's doing promotion of her own work and wanting to make some sales, especially this weekend, doing a takeover, which nobody fucking attended because they're all at the goddamn theater. This has got to be one of the few Valentine's Day, and I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't think as many men got laid this weekend as people think. I think all their women were at the movie theater. They were all watching 50 Shades of Grey. Then they all went out to dinner and got cocktails, got drunk, took cabs home. They were too drunk to fuck. This was actually the biggest flop in movie history. I mean, and hospitals are all like putting out notices, be prepared 9 months to take time off, or you must work double shifts or whatever because we're going to have a slew of new babies. Bullshit. They had a new slew of babies when the books came out, for Christ's sake. So, this whole hullabaloo of what's going to happen is just, no. I think we're making more of it out than it will be. I think once the 3 movies are completely out, we'll start to see it die, and then some new trend will come along, and hopefully it'll involve metal singers, namely my books. Thank you.
Which actually would have been the segue into you.
Hey, there you go. Hey.
What do
I did that? That's marketing, baby, right there. That's marketing.
No, seriously. What's the title of your series? What you got?
It's the Metal Prodigy Series. It's based on a young musical prodigy by the name of Alexis Grace Hadabach, who had a very tragic start in her life. She was originally deemed to be sold into sexual slavery at the age of 3 years old by a mafia don. Their job was to sell little girls and into sexual slavery. Things didn't work out for this mafioso, and ends up carving her up and then sticking her inside a fully intact cardboard box in a South Philadelphia alley. In walks, to do ministry work, Father Martin and Sister Maria Therese of St. Mary's Catholic Church of South Philadelphia. Sister Maria Therese notices this box fully intact and discovers the little girl. They end up going to the hospital, and the girl's in a coma for quite some time. And once she awakes, Sister Maria Therese has an epiphany that she needs to foster and adopt this child. By Catholic Church law, they're not allowed to foster or adopt children, so she ends up having to resign. Father Martin doesn't want to lose Sister Maria Therese at St. Mary's, so he goes ahead and gives them sanctuary, and Alex is consequently raised literally in a Catholic church. They quickly discover after her adoption she's got a very unique musical gift. She can literally watch an instrument being played and replicate it to perfection. So it starts with the violin. Fast forward to the age of 16, and she's introduced via her Sony Walkman that she's being given as a gift. They go to a music store. She buys a bunch of discount tapes and picks out one tape called Master of Puppets by Metallica.
Yes!
Listens to Master of Puppets, falls deeply in love with metal music, and also picks up a few tapes by a group called Hell's Redemption. So listening to the guitar riffs of Seth Batista, whose musical style is similar to Kirk Hammett and Eddie Van Halen, she falls in love with the electric guitar. Being given a Les Paul guitar by her mother for her 16th birthday, Alex starts to hone her gift of playing the electric guitar and sets a goal to make heavy metal music history by being the most talented and awesome riff guitarist in heavy metal history, and wants to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one day. At the age of 18, she graduates high school valedictorian, goes on to the Juilliard School of Music. The New York Philharmonic offers her a first-string violin position right out of the gate. She turns them down. She wants to play heavy metal. She wants to try her bones out there in the world, and is consequently turned down by several bands because they feel having a woman on stage with them will make them appear weak. So enter Hell's Redemption after Seth has a climbing accident out in Moab, Utah. He crushes his playing arm. So they need a stand-in lead guitarist for their Aftermath tour for a year. So they head to a New York City nightclub where they are told a guy named Doug is a really good guitarist and could be a good fit. They go to the New York City nightclub, the lights go down, all of a sudden the music goes on, and they hear just amazing guitar riffs that are just blows their mind. The stage lights get up, and needless to say, that's not Doug, whatever the fuck his name is, ripping it on guitar. They were a little shocked, to say the least, that it was Alex. So they watch this brown hair, blue-eyed beauty rip it and see that she's talented. She then plays some of Hell's Redemption's riffs, namely Seth's riffs, and they know that they have their guitarist for the next year. So enter this 21-year-old blue-eyed, brown-eyed virgin in the middle of the Catholic Church. She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't swear. Put her in the middle of 5 tattooed, womanizing, heavy metal badasses, and you got yourself a good time. Welcome to the Metal Prodigy Series.
Isn't that called a reverse harem?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
That's what I'm talking about. Hells yeah.
Yeah, so she...
sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, the adventure begins with Redemption, and right now I'm working on book 3 in the series, which will come out this spring.
Cool.
Sweet.
And of course you'll hook us up with your links, so that way we can
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to post them right now.
Please do, please do.
So are we gonna go on to like the Q&A portion of the featured guest?
Well, when we come back from we're gonna take a small break, play a little music, and when we get back, we'll if you guys got any questions, let's start into it. Just tear into her.
Okay. When we get back, we'll have a Q&A session with J.S. Snow.
Awesome. Did I do that right, guys? I'm posting stuff. Is it posting?
We got it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. I'm sorry.
Recording now. Alright, we are back, and we have J.S. Snow. We're going to do a little Q&A thing with her.
Here we go.
So, who wants to start the Q&A off?
I guess I'll do it.
Okay,
Spud
has his hand up.
Go ahead, Spud.
Alright, so what would be a tip you would give to somebody who wants to be a writer?
The tip I would give him is don't. I'm just kidding. For me, I'm just I don't know. I'm one of those balls to the wall kind of people.
Balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall. When I
love
decided
balls to the
to finally jet this story down, this story actually appeared in my head about 20 years ago, and was actually more of a women's lib kind of thing, because women in rock didn't really exist outside of Anna Nancy Wilson or Lita Ford, or Bonnie Raitt for that matter. Unless you were those 4 women, you really weren't respected in the genre of rock, let alone heavy metal.
What about Bengals?
It was, oh please. Anyway, it was more of a to give women credibility, notoriety. A woman can do anything a man can do. Blah blah blah. Women's lib, ERA, bullshit. So 20 years later, women have come an extraordinary long way in this genre of music, and we're finding just incredible artists out there. So I knew the book's premise had to change, and the story changed quite a bit. It's better than what I had originally come up with. So I say if you have an idea, jot it down, get it outlined, and then just get it out there. Don't overthink it. For me, I began June 1, 2013. It was published December 27, 2013. I just gutted it the fuck out. I learn as I go, and I'm learning a lot. My writing is improving. It's getting cleaner. It's changed. So, you know, I don't know. I dive in and do it kind of thing. I'm not an overthinker. I don't analyze it. I don't do research. I don't have time for it. I don't give a shit. I just write. So if you're going to get into this business, you want to think about it, you want to research, there's plenty of resources out there. Or you can just take advantage of this wonderful modern day technology called the World Wide Web and just do your own ebook and then punch it out. Just get it out there. At least you can say you did it, you know?
So it seems to be a lot easier to get a book out there nowadays because of all these platforms that lets people put their work out there. Like with video games, you got Steam, and you got other websites that post indie games, and with artists, you got SoundCloud, and with writers, you even got Amazon. You can't even get into Amazon or Smashwords or places like that.
Yeah, there's so many resources that you can do it on your own. You know, the trick to it, and it's ironic that we were talking, you know, about EL earlier, that is what it's all about now. Anybody can write a book. Anybody. It's the marketing. It's how you're selling yourself. For an indie writer, it's an uphill battle. And now more than ever, there's millions of choices out there for you to read. And I'm not really going the published route. I hope I'm never published, believe it or not. I don't want my work compromised. I like the independence of being my own artist and supporting other independent artists. So this is perfect for me. And honestly, gentlemen, I'm a control freak extraordinaire. I ran a business for 12 years out of my home, and I'm just a control freak. And to have somebody else saying, well, you have to do it this way, and you have to do it this way, yeah, get fucked. Whatever, dudes. I write my own shit my own way. You want to read it good? You don't? Okay, fine, next. So that's I love this industry because I can do that. I have control.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Well, what about Wendy-O and the Plasmatics?
Ooh, what?
What? Oh my god! Well, we were talking about women in rock from back in the day, and Wendy-O and the Plasmatics, they're closer to punk rock than anything. Or if not straight up punk, but still, I mean, you know, she would come out dressed up in, like, you know, plastic and freaking, like, chainsaw cars apart.
Pussy
yeah,
Riot.
I mean, unfortunately, back in those days, you had to do those gimmicks, or you had to be cutesy like the Bangles or the Go-Go's, or just something that the industry could, you know, market because you had tits and a vagina, therefore you were an anomaly.
So I was joking about the Bangles, though. I was joking. I'd like to point out.
I mean, it's just such complete bullshit that, you know, I mean, I remember the shock on people's faces when Beyonce came out with her band, and Beyonce's band is made up with nothing but female. And people were just like, "What is that actually them playing the instruments, or is that, you know, duped in?" It was like, "Are you freaking kidding me with this shit?" So, you know, I mean, women credibility, you know, it's hard for women, and women still are looked upon kind of as an anomaly, you know, especially in the heavy metal genre. I really have only ever focused on the heavy metal. Classic rock genre. You know, you speak my language, I'm going to speak it back to you, you know, and then you throw shit at me like, you know, Justin Bieber, and I'm like, who? You know, like, bleh, puke.
Let's not bring him up on the show, please.
You know, it's like,
I love JB.
You love who?
JB is my boo. He's bae.
Okay.
Oh my god.
To each their own.
Now, I will say this much. For the most part, now, I totally understand what you're saying as far as women in hard rock and such, especially classic rock. I mean, people can name off Aerosmith, they can name off Kiss, they can name off like 5 different bands, all males. Now, but you do have to admit, though, some of the finest women in rock, though, from back in the days would be like in Poison and Whitesnake.
Well...
It was a bad joke, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a really bad joke, you know, considering you just unilaterally insulted Anna Nancy Wilson of Heart. You want to talk about industry setters? You want to talk about what that should command respect? They set the tone. They're the ones that had to go up against industry bigots and industry assholes that just thought that they could just be taken advantage of because they were women. I mean, the song Barracuda is based upon a music mogul label that wanted to take full advantage of these two women. And, you know, they said The Ultimate Fuck You wrote one of the greatest songs ever. And to this day, if you were in music and you don't know Barracuda by heart, then you are just, you know, you have no credibility. You know that song, you have it memorized, you can play it on the fly because you pay the respect to the women that wrote it.
I live in Washington, trust me. Heart is well known here.
Yeah, it's. I'm originally from Seattle, and they are my absolute heroes. And there's a section in my book Redemption where A.G. Hadaba is forced to play tribute to Nirvana and to Heart. And it was one of the funniest sections of the book, quite honestly, and I absolutely enjoyed writing it and paying homage to those two women.
Oh, any other questions?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Well, thanks for coming on the show with us and answering questions that we have for you.
If you want to stick around and give your input on everything that we say, go ahead.
I will absolutely hang around. You guys are really quite delightful. Thank you for having me tonight.
Oh my God, honey! You're so welcome!
Oh my freaking God.
So,
Sugar Bear, you're nice. I love you.
to go on to video games here, if you guys don't know, EA, you know, like when you hear EA, everyone probably thinks of corrupt assholes company, but they're making Star Wars Battlefront, the newer one, and I am. If I had money, if I could scale on a one to how excited I am for the other Battlefield, it's in the billions. I am so excited, and I hope EA doesn't fuck it up. But we haven't heard a whole lot of news. We have not heard a whole lot.
I'm kind of excited for it because I used to come home every day and play it on PlayStation 2.
Same here. I used to play with my
all the fucking scenarios.
I used to force my grandpa when I was younger and I owned the PS2. I used to force my grandpa to play it with me. But
you gotta remember, it's EA though. EA's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, I just hope they don't. But
fuck everything up.
We haven't heard a single bit of news from Star Wars, the new Star Wars Battlefront at all. And they really recently, it's a rumor. It's the closest thing to news we're going to get. Is they're going to be bringing the hero system back. If you don't know what that is, back in the original Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront 2, I'm not sure about 1, but they you were able to play as a certain Jedi, and you were able, and that was when you when you hit a certain level or something like that. You were able to play as a Jedi, and you were able to be like really badass and really powerful. They're bringing that back, and the multiplayer is supposed to be 128 players, and that's amazing.
That's pretty much.
That sounds actually pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much the Empire, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 120. That's epic.
So I guess we'll go on. That's
there's actually some news I just want to throw out there real quick. Just real quick rundown. Sonic Boom ain't sold shit.
Sonic Boom, what's that?
Sonic Boom was the newest fucking Sonic game that came out from Sega.
Oh.
It's like, oh my god, it was such a horrible redesign. It's what Chris Chan lost his/her mind about. Just, oh my god, lost her full fucking mind about Sonic not having blue arms.
Billion yen. That's terrible.
I think they had to commit Sudoku after a certain amount of loss.
You literally move like so slow, and you can literally glitch your way through like 90% of like important parts of the story by pressing start and jump and start and jump. Like the game is the worst.
It is so glitched. It's not even funny. I mean, no clipping, nothing. Oh my god, do you know how many already right now, how many game reviewers are showing like nothing but glitches? Like this QA, do you hear about beta testing at least? That's a job, you know. You can't skip that.
You know, first of all, that's one of those bandwagon things where like, hey, we put our name on it, it's going to be a good game, people are going to buy it. And it's like, no, it's not going to work this time. People notice it sucks and everybody hates it. Like,
if you're not going to put the time and the effort into a redesign, then why fucking put it out?
Serious.
Yeah.
Because they think they can make money because they think they can do a fly-by-night copy-paste and make money off of it by skipping certain segments, certain parts of the creation process.
This wasn't a copy and paste. This was like copy it, delete half of it, and like poop it out. you didn't regurgitate it into the mouths of the morons that are actually going to like this game.
And there are those who will defend this game, and it's sad. Speaking about defenses and fight nights and such, Towerfall sells your soul to Anita Sarkeesian because, you know, she really fucking deserves a spot there. And even more fight nighting up on her so hard it's not even funny. And Polygon sells out about it again. I understand that Polygon has a great slick web design, but for the love of God, who is feeding these people? Like, who is seriously reading these fucking articles and not hating on it?
I always remembered all the Sonic games used to be insane, like the 3D ones. They were just insane. You had all kinds of shit going on and on the screen, and it kind of looked fun, although I never really played it.
You know, Sonic 2, you would go so fast, you would be off the screen for several seconds. That was fucking
right?
For a side-scroller, that was excellent.
Sonic games were the shit back in the day. I remember when I used to, they still are the shit, but I used to play it a lot, and when I had my old PS2 and it broke, I used to always go to the McDonald's nearby my house and play it on the little, like, consoles that they had there.
No, suffice to say, Sega used to put out great content, and now, like, this is just sad. But then again, Sega has also got a history of stabbing itself in the back. Let us never forget the Tower of Babel and its fall immediately afterwards. You know, when you had the Genesis hooked up to the Sega CD, hooked up to the 32X, hooked up to something else with the game at the fucking top of it.
Like really, when they do the battle scenes where you're running on the floor and everything's supposed to be crazy fast, you are moving so slow. It is really hard to enjoy. You could put classical music on and match the beat. Like, it is dumb. It is terrible. I don't get how they think they can sell that. They did the same thing. What was it? It wasn't Red Dead Redemption. It was Dead Island. That new Dead Island game.
Oh, Dying Light.
Let's just take a really amazing game, copy it, and then poop on it. Like, really?
Dying Light was a good game though. I enjoyed it.
Well, here I was thinking I was the shit for playing, you know, Donkey Kong all the way up to the final level. Man, whatever. Okay.
Which Donkey Kong?
Yeah, our video games are life for us.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that. I mean, for me, it was just, you know, you went old school, man. You went into the Pizza Hut and you went up to the, you know, video game along the wall console and you pumped in your quarters and you just, you know, you played that bitch. You know, I already mastered Asteroids, so it was like moving on to Ms. Pac-Man and moving on to Donkey Kong and shit. I look at the video games now. I'm just like blown away. The graphics are incredible, and I'm just. You know, the story is just whenever the storylines come up and you have to read it, and you know, I mean, it's a whole world. I mean, it's fascinating to watch. I like just watching people play them. It's pretty fascinating.
I mean, yeah.
I actually find it interesting you brought up old school pizza stuff. In California, they have a line of like family pizza places called Pizza Chalet, and that had some of the best video games in history. I swear to God. The original TMNT, you know what I mean? And you were talking about, do you remember those tabletop games?
Yes.
Get your grub on, get a drink on, get your play on. It was great.
Yeah, it always pissed you off when you went up to one of those to take a seat and somebody had stolen the seat from one of their tables to eat their fucking pizza. You're like, damn, dude, the stool goes with the damn table. Leave it alone.
Go eat at one of the eating tables. This is the game time.
Yeah, so there was always one guy always hunched over because he had to stand, and the other dude was sitting down, being all nice and comfortable, kicking his ass. So that was just, you went old school. You felt the pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
When we all had our own game systems growing up and playing on computer and stuff like that, we learned everything from the internet. That's how the game. That's how
it was a Nintendo.
Yeah. That's how the gaming community has changed over the years.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well.
I was going to say, you got some good news for us, bro?
Yeah. We just confirmation that Spinwires will be on our next show to do an interview. So we'll have Tyson on the show with us. They have some great music. I got in contact with them to use some of their music for the show, and they were actually really... they let us use some of their stuff, and Thomas has used, or that bastard has used some of their stuff for one of his videos.
No, actually, you know what? As Thomas Duder, author of the things, remember, I have a different name per situation. As Thomas Duder, author of the things, yeah, Spinwire's already said, hey, go for it, use songs for your book trailer, and I'm like, okay. Like, hells yeah. In fact, I got Beverly Cialone, Beverly, who's also another writer, once again, another you'll find that we got connections, we got network.
We got people.
Heck, I met J.S. Snow, Author J.S., just straight up through a fellow author of ours, Author A.R. Sinault. Another writer who uses a acronym. You know what I mean? A.R. Sinault, J.S. Snow.
All right, well.
Gives us street cred.
Yeah. All right, so be on the lookout for next show.
That.
Yeah, definitely featured guest next show, Spinwires. Looking forward to that shit. Hells yes.
We'll have links to their shit in the description, so make sure to check them out. If you like the Black Keys or Franz Ferdinand, you'll love these guys.
Franz Ferdinand. That's what I was telling JS about him earlier, and I kept thinking, wait, what were they comparable to? Wait, take me out.
Now we know.
So
yeah, me and Thomas were having this conversation. He was like, I can totally mosh to someone with fucking Take Me Out. And I'm like, I was just imagining that in my head, seeing Thomas beat the shit out of someone.
I could.
Franz Ferdinand. With a really retarded smile on his face.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. So, let's talk about some news as of late. Some really heavy... Actually, let's switch gears to something a bit heavier.
This is some pretty fucked up news.
Yeah, so... Basically, what happened was we are not really sure if it was Russia militants or if it was Russia themselves. But they were bombing a Ukrainian. They were shelling actually a Ukrainian town, and it killed
long-range cannon fire.
Mortars.
It was like artillery and mortars.
And they killed 35 people apparently, and it was like 100 or something around that number. 105 or 107 people were injured, and two children were killed too. It was really fucked up.
It
was
really fucked up. If you're watching the video...
there was a video about it, and this girl was sitting in her apartment room, and she was looking out the window, and there were just fucking mortars just blowing these houses. It was just right in this little area. It was terrible.
You could see the girl was scared shitless recording it. I'm like, why the fuck won't you get out of the building or get somewhere safe where you won't fucking get blown up? And she has a baby in the background. I'm like,
what the same stupid-ass reason as when tornadoes hit here in the South, and instead of people ducking for cover, they go running after to film the goddamn tornadoes. I mean, people just get off on filming shit nowadays,
Well, they can also get money off it, too, if someone gets in contact with them.
Curiosity.
So more than likely, she sold that sucker to CNN and is now, eaten or something.
Yeah, it's so terrible that Russia would do something like that. If they already annexed a large majority of Ukraine. I mean, Jesus Christ, why shell them? It's like something straight out of when I think of the word shelling, and I think of shit going down, I think of the game what is it called? I think of the war of This War of Mine.
Well, I need to point out something, just to throw this out there. One thing to consider is, one of the things that we Americans have never had to experience is waking up in the middle of a war zone. I really got to point out that I can understand to a point why she didn't just run. Where are you going to run? Do you even know why you're being shelled? Do we even know why they were shelled, actually?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know
why. How do you know what you're not running to is going to be shelled?
Exactly. So think about that. Waking up one morning and shit is going down. What are you going to do?
I'd be out the fucking door.
Yeah, I can understand with tornadoes, in some cases they do get warnings ahead of time, but in other cases, once again, you wake up, you're already in Oz. You know what I mean? Tornado already hit.
You're pretty much in Oz, believe me.
Which, admittedly, as a western seaboarder, I've never had to go through a tornado, and I'm pretty certain the movie Tornado was a lie. All of it was lies.
I never really had to worry about that in my town either, because my town's up on a hill, and it's really hard for a tornado to go up on a hill. They more go for, big crops and areas like that. That's how they form. But
the worst.
Usually they're outside of the city. If people go to Walmart, I've seen pictures of people at Walmart, because our Walmart's on the outside of the town. They're taking pictures of a fucking tornado that's probably about 5 miles away. Okay.
Yeah, we don't get anything here in town over here. You don't get tornadoes. You don't get nothing. Worst you'll get is, I think recently we had a major winds 45 miles per hour. That was the worst that's ever happened here recently.
Yeah, here in Ohio, we kind of have a clusterfuck of weather because we got a big-ass lakefront up north from us. And we got that downhill pressure coming in from the mountains from the west. So
Here in Florida, we, of course, Hurricane Central. When I first moved here to Florida, I got to experience 3 hurricanes back to back. That was just exciting. Charlie, Francis, and Jean. But hurricanes, I mean, they're predictable, and they've got the weather maps and the trajectory and when they're going to come at you. The most terrifying thing here is the tornadoes. They're just all of a sudden they're on you, and they're usually in the middle of the night. And that really annoying that you get on the radio that you're just going, please shut the fuck up. Here, when that goes on, you take that shit seriously because that means imminent. You're going to get nailed. So I learned that being here in the South. The only scarier phenomenon, I think, and I went through this living out in Utah, was earthquakes. That is absolutely terrifying. There's nothing you can do. It's on you, and you're just in it. So it's, you do the best you can with the situation that you have, and I'm supposing that, that woman that was, taking the video, if anything, if anybody could see it at the time, it was to help her country and to show the domineering tyrants that Russia continues to be. And how small their dicks are, that they just have to continually think they have to conquer people, and they want to bring back the Soviet Union and just be world tyrants. So she was filming that and understand exactly what it is out there in Russia.
So I hope you don't mind that I improvise a news. This is kind of related to Ukraine as well. It relates to shelling. There was something that happened, and it was a super huge explosion that a lot of people in Ukraine were claiming thought it was a nuke at first. That's how big it was. They thought it was a nuclear bomb, and it wasn't, of course. And they shelled a military area that had a bunch of ammunition in it and just made a giant explosion, and it was insane. I don't know what Russia's doing, but they're just kicking the shit out of Ukraine. It's terrible.
It is. I mean, all over resources and land. I mean, why can't you just let a country be a country?
Well, I've often said it before.
I mean, politics and land and power is kind of fucking stupid.
Well, I'm not saying that they'll all go away when we start actually, terra-colonizing planets and stuff, but I am a transhumanist, and I do believe that while it's not going to solve it forever, our solution is in the stars, you know what I mean?
I agree there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at the same time, we're probably going to end up making our own enemies. Like, each race, each country is going to have its own world, and then eventually one of them's going to go, you know what? Let's go star fucking. And
you guys are probably going to hate on me for this, but it kind of does sound nice. But I'm a communist. I believe in communism. I feel like if everybody does everything for the government, the world will be a better place. Not like the militaristic Russian communism or the Korean communism that happens there. If everybody works for one goal, then society would be much better.
This is the only issue with communism is... sorry. The only issue...
Everybody wants freedom.
It's no leader who was all for communism has done it in a good way. They've all fucked it up and been tyrants in some type of way.
I mean, it's not that they have to be tyrants. Human error is so large. How am I supposed to trust someone else to do their job so that our country can stay in place? Really? That's never going to happen. Someone's going to want to be lazy, or someone's not going to want to do their job, and I'm not going to rely on that. That's a terrible idea. It's a good idea if you really think about it, I guess.
Well, we are already doing that, but everybody wants the freedom. We have the choice. We have the choice of what kind of a government we want, but I also believe that is a good choice, how we have bills and all that, but I feel like citizens should have more of a say than the government does.
I agree there. That's true. I agree there.
I believe in more of a hybrid approach, and I believe that we should take a more hybrid approach, but then again, I am a hybrid approach. There's that too.
Then we wouldn't have all this excess spending, all this bullshit spending, all these bullshit excuses from our government. If we all work for one goal to make our country or our world a better place, then everything would be better off. There would be no wars. There would be no excess spending.
Wait, what are you? Some kind of disgusting pinko commie scum?
No. I'm not preaching about how the militaristic communism is good, but I'm saying all for one is kind of a good thing.
I think it's beautiful to dream that, a life similar to Star Trek can exist, because that's what they you know, I mean, that's what you live for. There's no money in the 23rd century. I mean, everybody just lives to better themselves and, you know, better the universe and explore the galaxy. And, you know, ideally that is what we should be achieving and not, you know, trying to be materialistic. So I love, you know, the thought of that. But I think no matter what political party you're in, no matter what your political beliefs are, I think the trick to it is to get active in what you do believe in. And I think there's too many passive people that just choose not to be active at all. And
I agree.
That's the downside to this whole thing.
It's like
I agree with JS now.
There were so many things that happened, and like when I was talking to a teacher about this. It's a teacher who served the Navy for 21 years. We were talking about how I find it ridiculous, I find it stupid as hell that if there was something that was plaguing the entirety of the human race, if one country is like, you know, hey, I'll step up and I'll do something, we're not going to just give them the requirement to. They have to pay for it. It's stupid. Give them what they need to save the fucking human race. Don't make them pay for things.
Well, hey, the guy that did that cured polio, you know what I mean, found the polio vaccine. He gave away for free, did he not?
Yeah, he would have made trillions off that.
Yeah. Two things. One, don't forget those Star Trek. It's wonderful, but in the backstory, the canon backstory, something happened to the human race that lowered us to like 5% before we achieve utopia. Just saying. I'm not a humanist, but that's something to consider. In fact,
and sometimes it takes those extremes, Tom, to get to that point. And unfortunately, I think humanity is inevitable. I mean, for the 80s, it was we were all worried about the Cold War. You know, Russia nuking us out and us nuking them back, and then, you know, we're going to have, you know, the Terminator, and you know, and then eventually we'll come back and thrive. So, you know, do I think that it's still possible? Not necessarily on the nuclear war stage, but I think more of a biological warfare is still very imminent. I think something is just going to have to just reset humanity's button, and we'll just have to start the fuck over. You know, so some people believe it's the Bible. You know, with you know, him with God wiping out the planet with, you know, Noah and the Ark. You know, so maybe humanity will just do its own, and we'll just hit the reset button. So it may have to come to that, unfortunately.
What it's probably going to happen.
Here's a good scenario of communism. Here, a post-apocalyptic scenario where a disease takes over or a government crashes down and everybody is without law, without governments, and they have to thrive on their own. I feel like when everybody comes together and do something for their community, that is better. I mean, even in that, there's no materialistic value. Everybody's working together. They're cropping farms for everybody to make sure everyone's fed. They're helping people out. They're hunting. They're doing all this other shit. And I feel like that's kind of a utopia in my mind. But
until a despotic leader takes over.
Yeah. Really think about it. Gene Roddenberry was a genius. And Gene Roddenberry really foresaw a wonderful, beautiful future. And that is something I celebrate, you know, with that series of sci-fi. It's a beautiful thing to look forward to, if you will. And
that's the second thing I want to that's the second point I want to make, though, is off of that at some point in time, if you have the biotechnological means to do so, to feed the world, to unite humanity in you know, claiming the stars, that kind of thing, do it. It doesn't matter if it's under the guise of communism or whatever have you. At some time, technology and both biomedical and terra colonization will reach a point where, yeah, it doesn't matter where you're from. If everyone can be fed, if everyone can have the same energy, if it can erase all the old necessities on land, on fuel, on things of that nature, even blood, diamonds, and gold, things of that nature, you know? Which is more important, people grubbing into the earth or people taking over other planets, you know what I mean?
Going off of what J.S. Snow said to talk about the reset, like, I personally believe what's probably going to end up happening is we're going to end up running out of materials. Like, we're going to be running out of materials on planet Earth. And when that happens, there are going to be wars, massive wars. And that is going to be the reset button. That is the thing that's going to take back civilization years, because when that happens, we're fucked.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, I'm not gonna live that long. So it sounds really douchey. I'm not worried about that.
That's not far from now.
I mean, that could be from now.
A bunch of materials, materials no longer like being a necessity, or like and a war breaking out because of that. That's not long from now.
Well, I would also say
that's why I'm glad I'm a Floridian. I'm going to stop up on canned goods right now.
Doomsday preppers.
I would say once again, 5 years from now, even possibly less, functional immortality, yo. So that's the other thing.
I mean, it's all the corporations that are in control of these things, which I think is a bad idea, and they have a bit of a more of a say in how we run our government than we actually do as citizens, as consumers.
I'm gonna say this. I don't trust anyone who hasn't gone to college to do anything for the United States. How am I supposed to trust like my dad or anyone else? Like that's why they go to college, to help everyone else for the government. Like we don't just randomly give people the right to like be in our government. And the same with like
actually,
if like world, like
to be in the government, there are minimum criteria that you have to go through. Like even a foreign person can be a fucking president.
No, they cannot.
No, they cannot.
Yeah, they can. It's I believe it's 25 years you have to live in the United States to even become president. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's a Swedish.
He's not president.
Yeah, but he's in the political party. He tried to run for president. He was in the top, and then Hillary Clinton and Obama and all them, they were, or not Hillary
Foreigners
Clinton, but
can't be president, dude.
Yeah, you can look it up. I learned this in my government class. I looked it up. I did a whole paper on it.
There you go.
Government now. If you were not born in the U.S., you cannot be the president.
Fucking
No matter how.
There.
No.
U.S. Constitution, folks.
Yeah, it's here. I just dropped a link. Check it out, Caboose. Suffice it to say, foreigners cannot be president, dude. They can run for office, but they cannot be president. Oh my God.
They cannot hold the highest in the land.
So
do you know who I trust to run the United States government, in all honesty? Children. I think, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Think about it. Really break it down, guys. If you were to put a bunch of 5-year-olds in a room, give them some problems, watch their answers, really listen to them. They will not overcomplicate it. They have no financial investment in it. They will just suggest solutions that make simple sense. And I mean, you think about it, it goes back to that story of the semi-truck that got stuck underneath the underpass, and everybody's, just freaking out, and how are we going to get this, truck out and get it unstuck and get the freeway unclogged and blah, blah, blah. This little girl comes along and simply says, lower the air pressure in the tires. Duh. I mean, it was, hello, simple. So I think adults, I'm all for education, don't get me wrong, but I think education also tends to overcomplicate shit. Just put it out there to average everyday people, maybe even children, and just simply say, okay, what do y'all think? And watch what happens. Kids say the damnedest things, and they may come up with just the solution that we all need. But basically, children just want all the same thing. They just want to grow up, and they want to be able to play in a safe and harmonious world. And that's children in any country, under any religion, anywhere. So
if you go to
we can learn a lot from kids.
They actually point that out in TV tropes that, if you're a villain and if a 5-year-old could pick apart your plan, you should really just consider a new plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strike to the heart of the matter.
Yeah.
Say, who here has read To Kill a Mockingbird?
You asked us this last. Nobody's read this. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm a writer. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I think because it was assigned in high school, I just, immediately said, fuck you, I'm not reading it. So, I never have.
Well,
I never have either.
Well, right now, the internet seems to be just imploding, at least from the places that I go to. Now, I don't read a lot at Jezebel, but I do read every now and then, you know what I mean? I read up on articles. And for the most part, there's been, like, a bunch of articles concerning Harper Lee and To Kill a Mockingbird, which is put out by HarperCollins, of course. And yeah, it seems to be just like a whole lot of people are just hating on To Kill a Mockingbird. Now, the long and short of it is that it deals with a lot of class exploitation, social exploitation, blacks versus whites, whites versus blacks, all that good stuff. And of course, Atticus Finch, is, a white lawyer who defends or who steps in on this situation. For the most part, ever since Harper Lee's sister died, who was also her lawyer, about 3 months back or so, suddenly a 60-year-old book that that supposedly Harper never wanted published is just discovered and just put out there. It was actually a prequel to Kill a Mockingbird, a sequel, prequel, whatever you call it. Supposedly, from the flashbacks that are found in that book is where we get To Kill a Mockingbird. But it was put down by HarperCollins in the beginning, just because they didn't like the whole, the way it was presented or something like that. It was just one thing that I just found it really interesting on the literature front, that this is even going down, that it's like such an issue right now. I mean, it just seems like Jezebel just hates all over Harper Lee to begin with. But I mean, it deals with racism, and it's written by a white woman. Yeah, they're gonna have issues. Jezebel's
all right
on that shit.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
To Kill a Mockingbird
It's a story.
Ugly. But then again, I also admittedly liked Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is one of the most sumptuously written books I've ever read. But
it's an excellent book, actually. I have read that one.
Yeah, but racism, oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but people will allow racism to... I mean, I've read Mein Kampf. I've read Martin Shabazz's old school stuff, his memoirs. I've read freaking Malcolm X, both the autobiography and the biography. And I'm just saying, just because it deals with racism doesn't mean it's a bad book. Just because, admittedly, Mein Kampf is kind of like the twilight of its time.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up, for literature, how it can be acceptable, but I also think there's a fine line, to, what you can and cannot put in a book. I know in my second book, I mean, I battled with using the N-word. I mean, I seriously, I freaked out. I mean, as a white woman, I'm just like, I'm afraid this group of black people is going to come and find me or something. I'm just like, oh shit. But I looked at the context of how I was using it, who was saying it. It was a white cracker, Aryan bastard that was saying it. So to me, it was used in the proper context, and the reaction from the black bodyguard for one of Hell's Redemption band members immediately tuned his ass up. So I felt more comfortable after it, but I was battling using that one word. I was just
yo. At least you're not Joni Mitchell, who honestly thought she was a black guy.
Ugh. God.
For those of you who don't know, she's an older, like 70s or 60s vocalist who, was pretty popular. And she recently came out with a bunch of bullshit about how she feels an affinity with black men because she experienced being a black guy on several occasions.
Paula Deen.
So don't, as a writer, here's my thing. Here's my take on it. As an artist, you know what? Do whatever you're gonna do, as long as it is in the context of your work. If you're walking around going nigger respect you, all this other shit outside of the book, you're gonna come across some problems. Even if your friends are that, and even if you're hanging out with them and they're cool with it, you're still gonna come across problems. If a stranger passes by and goes, "What did you say?" Especially as writers, we are public personas, personas. Yeah. So, but if you're writing about black people calling each other nigga in a book, that ain't even a thing for me personally. Same thing.
Y'all niggas want some pie?
Y'all niggas want to try this? But at the same time, once again, if it's just one of those things. I mean, I'm very much about artistic expression. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you're doing it in the context of your artistic work, whatever. Who's to step up and tell you you're not supposed to do that? You're doing art here, friend. If you don't understand that, back off my nuts. Or either literal or figurative.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweet Mother Teresa.
There it is.
Of a Mercedes-Benz.
Hey Eli, you want to talk about Hunter x Hunter?
Oh yeah. I don't know if anybody's watched this. It used when the first version came out. They made a new version 2011 of Hunter x Hunter, and it's about main character is a boy named Gon, whose dad actually left him at birth to become a hunter. No, Gon is not black. No. Despite what you think, Gon is not black. I read the description. I was like, little black kid.
When it comes to anime and manga, Gon is actually not the worst. Or Gon's dad, Ging, he isn't the worst dad out there, I would actually throw it out there that Baki's dad, Ogre, is the worst fucking father out there.
Dude,
oh my god.
Baki the graphic.
Dad?
What?
In anime Hunter x Hunter, Killa's dad actually he used electricity to train his son. He was like 2 years old, and he was exposed to enough electricity to like take a lightning bolt and like channel it. Like, are you serious? It's the worst dad ever. They took him. They
Okay,
stuck
so
a needle
Killa's
into
dad
it.
and Ogre are definitely like worst fathers of all.
Lobotomatize.
What?
Well, the story moves on with Gon getting stronger with Killa, who battles like he used to be an assassin, so he battles saving Gon's life. And it's really good. Like the character development is amazing. Like you fall in love with these characters like 10th episode. And despite how it looks, like it's really actiony. Like take Naruto, eat it, and like you know, put some love into it, dude. Just like make it so interesting. Because Naruto's stupid. Like filler episodes, had enough. Stop that. Stop. Filler episodes are not good. I don't know who told you they were. They're not.
But let's also not forget Naruto. I mean, it's Naruto. I mean, there are much like 50 Shades of Grey. There's lists of reasons why it sucks out there. But Hunter x Hunter not only shines during its battle segments. I'd like to point out also it's also one of the smartest shonen anime out there. You know, as far as it's not just well my power is greater than yours. No, it's like strategy and tactics. Remember, strategy is your moves that you decide on before the battle starts. Tactics is what happens when you do it during. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the way these guys work each other, it's not just like, my power is stronger than yours. No, there are like intelligent ways they use their powers. Especially when it kicks in with the 3 separate types, later on. In like what, the third arc or something?
You can feel the energy like when like a character gets angry, you feel it. Same with like Attack on Titan. When Eren got mad, dude, you were psyched. You were ready to see someone beat some ass. And like I felt like this was an amazing show that like demands respect no matter like over any other anime. I mean, I've had a favorite anime for over like 2 years, and this one just shat on it. Like it's beautiful and so give it a watch.
Yeah, it does. It really does shine on several levels, not just in the character development, but the storyline itself. It's never really boring, even though they do a couple of tournaments. It's not like, say, Yu Yu Hakusho, where after a while it's like, okay, this feels like the Dark. And I'm already alienating fans. I don't give a fuck. The Dark Tournament was the same exact thing as the fucking tournament with the Toguro brothers. It was the same fucking thing practically.
Yu Yu Hakusho got annoying. They like went off topic too many times, and he didn't advance near fast. Like plus, you'll see Gon like advance in power like after 3 days he'll like double his power, and it's always on this. He's always reaching for the same goal.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd like to point out is Hunter x Hunter has one of the. It's kind of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in that it feels like anybody can die at any point in time. There's not really plot armor on these characters. Even and I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say where, I'm not going to say how, but when certain characters die, you're like, holy shit, it hits you.
Like, they didn't give you time to feel bad. Like, you felt bad after, like, the first death, but then you're just like, okay, everyone's gonna die. This is just, like... like as soon as
Attack on Titan, fuck humanity. Attack on Titan, fuck Titans.
Fuck Titans! But you know what's even better than that? Genocyber. But we'll get into that some other time. Just because Genocyber, if you want to talk about fuck humanity, oh my god. Oh my god, if you want to really get into that, there's something even more nihilistic than that. MD Geist. Oh my god. We'll bring that up some other time. Right now...
MD Geist!
MD Geist.
Sounds German as fuck.
It is. Dude, oh my god, it is so nihilistic. If you guys haven't ever seen this old school anime, MD Geist, you should check it out. It is literally fuck everything for strength's sake. Okay. Just literally fuck everything.
Well,
so
science, bitch!
There it is!
Let's go.
So... basically, this one really isn't as important or anything, but I'm gonna quickly just kind of gloss over it. But recently they found I think it was let me see, I believe it was
Hubble?
It was double pissed. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it was a galaxy or if it was just a cluster. It was a galaxy cluster, and it formed a smiley face.
It kind of looks like a fuck up with a telescope, maybe.
You know what it looks like? Picture. We're trying to be.
Did they also find another planet out there somewhere where it's like almost like Earth, and then like
Yeah, the Kepler system.
Leave it alone.
We've actually found several of those though.
Yeah, multiple. Most in the Kepler system. The Kepler system.
That's what it was. Kepler.
Yeah. Kepler Gliese, like 86 or something, was like the most Earth-like planet. It was like 20 times. It was like 15 times bigger than Earth, though.
I'm just ready for the monolith to show up. Music, da da da. So I'm waiting.
Yep.
The Kepler planet is 15 times bigger than the Earth. I remember something like that being in the series Riverworld. You guys ever read that series?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, it's excellent stuff. I'm not going to go to... You know what? We'll do that next episode. Then for the literature segment, I'll talk about Riverworld. It's fucking great.
Science, bitch!
Oh, common pesticides do damage to bee brains. This is important because without bees, we fucking die. What was it? 3 to 5 years without
What was that movie? What was that movie?
What?
What was that movie that had to deal with it, where everyone turned into fucking mindless killing freaks?
What? Never heard of that. That's a lot.
What's that movie?
It's a movie that was actually based off of this. Bees were eradicated from the planet, and everyone just one day just started killing each other. And there were some people that were kind of immune to it, and they were trying to live for their survival.
Dude, that's like every post-apocalyptic movie ever. I haven't a clue what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know. It was made in like it was made before 2010.
Let's see if I
Was
can
it
find
Tooth and
it.
Nail with Michael Madsen?
And then the plants evolved, and like they let out this like
No.
toxin that kill themselves.
Is it Little Shop of Horrors?
No.
Oh shit.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's good. It's a good watch. So if you know what it is, post it and tell us what it is, so everybody else can watch it. Because it's good.
Oh, and on the last thing for the wrap up some science, bitch. Cats feel reduced stress by being in boxes. Something that cat owners.
The Happening. The Happening. That's the movie.
Oh my god! The Happening with freaking. Oh what? That wasn't with bees. That was like the wind. That was the trees, dude. That was like
That's
the
why
trees got tired of humanity and decided to kill us.
An apocalyptic threat to humanity arise on a clear blue sky with a series of violent and invisible deaths across the country. Terrifying phenomenon remains.
Yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg afraid of the wind. That's what
It got.
Oh, that's who was in
It
it.
got really, really bad reviews from like Rotten Tomato and IMDb.
You know, I'm just gonna say from my point of view, The Happening wasn't really that bad. It was actually kind of interesting, but still.
It was.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch afraid of the wind.
You know, he didn't have his diploma or GED. He actually went and got it when he was like 46.
Yeah, and by then he had like what, $500 billion? It doesn't matter then.
HBO or some shit. So does he really care? No.
Even if I got famous when I dropped out and I had to drop out of high school to do whatever, I would still go back and get my GED. Shit, I would still even go back and get my I would get something in college. I wouldn't give a fuck.
But you know what he can't do though? Because he's an ex-felon, he cannot own his own company. Something to consider.
Yep.
Wait, who can't? Sorry, what?
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, he
there
can't?
There were some articles like a month ago about how he was trying to get his felony revoked or whatever, so he can go ahead with owning some or starting up some business or whatever.
He has a business.
He was on the inside of the actor's studio, and he was actually up for first-degree murder.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, he told it James Lipton, and I remember James Lipton's reaction. Jesus Christ. And yeah, Marky Mark, he was up for first-degree murder.
I thought he had his own business because there's this like weird TV show based on like he has like this some weird burger shop or some shit.
And nope,
I know his partners in quite a bit of projects, including some Offsprings. I mean, the reason why the joke goes around that he owns HBO is because almost every I don't know, sub company of HBO, Mark Wahlberg has a shareholder stock in. I mean, he literally
cannot legally own them because of his felony. Something to remember.
Who did he kill?
Oh,
Why did he even need?
He was the actual murderer of the O.J. Simpson case.
Yeah, there we go.
OJ, release OJ.
There's probably some stripper. Probably like some Chinese.
Like that
stripper.
one, like that ShamWow guy.
So that
The biggest upset in America.
just got caught beating.
Did you ever watch that College Humor
Oh yeah, I
spot
saw that
where
College Humor.
that was fucking hilarious?
Oh god.
When I heard
It just kills everybody.
when I heard Billy Mays, I was like, oh well, no more Kaboom.
Hi, Billy Mays here.
It's
fucking G-Mod
it's
mission
funny.
was genius.
His partner, because I mean, of course, they're located in St. Petersburg, and His death actually affected a lot of Floridians. I mean, he actually was a really revered guy here. And I remember shortly after his death, I was at a Papa Roach concert in St. Pete, and
oh, you lucky!
The other guy was there. I guess he was able to. I guess he was gonna go get some beers or something. Instead of making him go through the crowd, they saw he was a celebrity and he was crawling right through and watched him go past. And he actually got catcalled quite a bit, from people saying, how much they miss Billy. So it's he's a nice guy. They're very nice men.
What killed Billy
Papa
Mays
Roach
again?
is a really nice band.
Just
I
throw it
love
out
Papa
there.
Roach.
Billy Mays is not affiliated with the Outcast radio show.
Was Billy Mays, was he killed?
Billy Mays.
Was he killed? Wasn't it a drug overdose or he just like...
It was a drug overdose, yeah. He overdosed on cocaine.
He was snorting Oxy Power.
He wanted to see if OxyClean would clean out his sinuses. It didn't work out too well for him. He's gone.
Bam! It can clean anything. Bam! Bam! Bam!
Look here, I'm
commercial.
Kablammy!
Apparently he used orange glow as the laxative. That didn't work out as well either. So.
Yeah, in commercial, he's like, no.
It's amazing.
He can clean anything. He snorts it and yells "bam" as loud as he could.
Forced segue.
Parody of the Cheeto commercial. Parody of the Cheeto commercial.
Fucking flops on the ground.
Recently, I
We are
suggested
making
to Riley that he watched District B13 and Brick Mansions on Netflix. Riley.
Oh my god. Well, if you guys like parkour movies, then you're gonna love District B13, Ultimatum, and Brick Mansions. Watch the first District B13, and then watch Ultimatum, because I did that mistake. I watched Ultimatum first, and then...
But it was still
before
good.
that. But they're both really good movies. I hear the second one is... from what I've seen, I think Ultimatum is better.
Well, yeah.
Brick Mansions is pretty good. It's a pretty good idea. They're both kind of the same movie. Except one's based in France.
Okay, yeah.
But they're both very good movies.
I gotta put this out there. District B13 and District B13 Ultimatum versus Brick Mansions. The problem with Brick Mansions, don't even get it twisted. I liked it, but if I hadn't seen the first two first, I wouldn't have... I mean, Brick Mansions on its own is good, but compared to those two... This is basically the RZA wants to make a movie about the bad guy turning to a good guy. That's exactly what it is. I mean, his character was like such a subversion of the original, and I don't care if you want to say, "What's a twist?" Fuck that shit. That guy died, and I'm not going to say who. District B13 won. He died like a hard charger. He went out Tony Montana style, and that's exactly how the character should have died. Instead, you had the redeeming character. You had the character being redeemed by an even worse character, RZA. Or whatever that one chick's name, and she was hardcore. Oh my god! As an addition to Brick Mansions, I loved her character. Imagine, if you will, a strong black woman whooping ass.
Excuse you, Thomas. That is empowering.
That is empowering. Fuck
Hey.
you. It's great.
That is Isaac's mom, I will have you know. Minus the coke and heroin. And the large... And without the fucking spending of Isaac's welfare money. Or Sputnik's welfare money.
RZA took the character and used her sacrifice. She was literally sacrificed to give his character a turning point, a heel face turn. And
Hey, I didn't see a fucking goat.
It still just, it really doesn't settle well with me. It still does not. I would have had her kill the guy and then take over. She tried to do that too. It was so badass. And it's just one of those things where Brick Mansions, I would say watch all three movies, but watch them in proper order. District B13, District B13 Ultimatum, and then Brick Mansions. And then maybe if you feel...
They're all basically the same movies over and over. Over again.
As the RZA, and it's Americanized. Hella Americanized.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to know something we all want to kick in the dick?
Ha!
Kanye Twitty, everyone.
We need a theme song for Kicked in the Dick, you know?
Yeah, we do. Kicked in the motherfucking dick coming straight from the underground.
Let's not go that far. We'll get sued. So, Eli, you were saying about Kanye West?
Kanye West. Let's see. First, my teacher. I'm not gonna say his name. He's a loser. He's an elitist who thinks he's the best at everything, and if you have a different opinion, then you're dumb. Like, it doesn't matter what your opinion is, it's dumb. You give an example of something he doesn't like it, you're dumb. Kanye West is the same way. Kim Kardashian dated the dumbest person ever. but it's so good because they're both really, really dumb. So everyone loves them. Why are we making stupid people famous?
You see the photo of Kim Kardashian's ass, right?
I love Kanye West. Kim Kardashian's hot. Like, she could marry anyone. Why Kanye West? Like,
because he got money. No, but have you seen the photo of Kim Kardashian's ass?
Yeah.
That thing is like a fucking dinner table.
What? No, it's a bad joke on Kanye West. God damn it.
Fuck you, Kanye.
So anyway, yeah.
Kick in the dick, steel toe boots, freaking, like, I want to see his testicle hanging off my shoe, like, oh my god, I want to kick him in the dick so bad. Yeah. I want to see that shit obliterated.
One of the things that, oh, yeah, speaking about butts and such, although, you know, once again, that was a funny joke, fuck you guys. Internet video of the week is College Humor's The Biggest Butt to End All Big Butt Songs. Check it out in the description because it is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
No, we were talking about, you know, J.S. has mentioned both Beyonce and Taylor Swift. And I would love for you to stick around. Well, fuck. Just really quick, just before we close out. There has actually been an article, I think on Daily Dot, talking exactly about that, about how, you know, there are women in the music industry that ain't getting the credit, you know, especially Taylor Swift. I would argue about Beyonce, but Taylor Swift definitely. Beyonce, it takes like, what, 4 writers to make a song? But Taylor Swift, I mean, what, she plays her own music, she fucking sings, she writes her own music. So there, and there was also an EDM band of some sort, oh, I forgot their name, but Cruella, where Deadmau5 is going up against them, talking about when they fired the one guy, he's just all about, oh, well, you know, you fired the one person who's actually making the music, you two are just there just for a gimmick. And it's like they're pointing out, well, wait a minute, no, we wrote these songs. He had a part of it, but we wrote these songs. It's like, oh, shit. I mean, that shit is going down in the music industry, just saying.
It always has. Copyright infringement is always going to be a thing.
Well, I hope that, now, I'm a cynical person, but I do have hope, you know, I really do. Someday there is going to be such a runaway act that no one's going to stop them. And whether they're, well, no, just shit, just as a female act, ain't nobody going to be able to stop that shit. So that's something to look forward to, at least in that. But then again, I'm also a writer as well, so sometimes imagination is the best thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's end on something a little nicer, or at least a little lighter in tone. The top 5 comments left on a porno.
I love this.
Let's just right here. This is what I look forward to every day. Turning on my computer, firing it up, getting the hand lotion ready, getting the fucking tissues and everything, loading up Pornhub or Fappy or RedTube, getting my dick all ready, and just getting ready to jerk off to it.
Now, with that stated, the commentary hurts for me to say, so please put up with me, all of you. We were actually talking about this earlier, in fact, with our intro, and JS pointed out, this is like horribly, badly spelled, and there's no punctuation. Oh, wow. So,
what do you expect?
Yeah. Number 5.
This is gonna be...
Are we ready? So, number 5, top comments left in a porno. Lot of yummy cummy.
Oh, God. That's kind of retarded.
Number 4, third girl was awesome tits.
Oh.
Number 3, would have shot a much with 2 H's, bigger load, but that's just me. I ain't no chump. Ain't no cum chump. Oh my god, I can't even read these right. They're so fucked up. Number 2, and get ready for it. There is no thesis, no build-up. She dusted the fucking pots and pans for crying out loud. Unless the maids don't cook, why would they have dust on them? Shouldn't maids be cooking shit? She hardly cleaned a damn thing other than the dude's cock either, but that's not what she gets paid to do. She's a maid. If anything, she should have to suck cock to keep her horrible job. And maybe when she makes some money, she can buy some new fishnets. Plot, 1 out of 10. Tits, 7 out of 10.
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck?
That's kind of off the fucking wall, balls to the wall right there.
But the saddest part is it is well written, and it's the punctuation's all there. It's so weird.
What?
Oh god.
Okay.
Number 1.
I get some food and I come back to this.
Number 1 of the top 5 comments left on a porno movie. It's actually a 2-parter. Saying you're sorry by rubbing his dick all over your fat ass titties, nice. And the reply, your, Y-O-U''RE.
Oh my god.
There you go.
That's kind of fucked.
Now, really quick, special mention goes to nice, I love intimacy.
Oh.
Everything is just everything is misspelled. Everything is misspelled. Everything is misspelled. With that stated, I'm certain I speak on behalf of all of us. Thank you for being our featured guest today, Author J.S. Snow.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, what was the title of your book?
The Metal Prodigy Series, Book 1, Redemption.
Check it out on the links we got on us.
And remember, everything that we've talked about, every single topic that we talked about today, will be put into the description. So if you guys want to give your own opinions on it, comment and tell us what you think. We'll gladly argue with you if you really want to.
Definitely.
But
we will.
As we say at the end of every single video, remember, this is our own opinions, and we do not give a shit if you guys disagree with our opinions.
I dare you to debate me about things.
So yelling at us in the comments about how we're all assholes is not going to do a single thing.
I welcome Michael Moore to come see this.
I think he'd enjoy himself, quite honestly.
Sneep keeps trying to say stuff. Sneep, say it.
Quit sneeping.
Seriously, the four of you are going in a book. You guys are just hysterical. This is fun.
Say something, damn it!
Say what?
What's in the box? Goddamn, what's in the box? Sneep keeps trying to say stuff. I just hear him in the background, and like every now and then, every time, like we'll have something like we'll be all quiet, and then he doesn't say it. Fucking Sneep.
But
Anyway.
I guess that's the end.
Shout out.
I guess that's the end of this episode.
All of you are suck dicks. I'm the best in the world at everything.
You want
You know,
to
I'm the best.
shout out to anybody or anything? So we all go quiet and he says nothing.
Just overwhelmed right now. He's facing being a character in one of my books, and it's just really baking his noodle right now, dudes. He's just, whoa. Let's give him a moment to, elect himself.
Just torture him and kill him off.
I think all of our people are awesome, and thanks for liking this video, because if you like this video, that means you're really cool and you got a really big penis, so you don't want some more of this shit, and you have a really big dick.
Wow, it's getting thick in here.
Big dick is sometimes a bad thing.
Alright,
it's never a bad thing. Black people.
Oh, so anyway... So, I'm not even going to ask Schneep if he has a shout-out. Fuck him. Sputnik, do you have... Normally I'm dogging on Sputnik, but now it's just fucking fuck you, Schneep. God damn.
I do have a shout-out. I will give this guy a shout-out every single video. TLDR. Check him out. If you love watching a guy just rip apart feminists with really, really, really shitty arguments.
Feminazis, that's the word you're looking for.
There we go.
But their pixie cuts are on point. Their pixie cuts are on point. I will.
Yeah.
If I may just throw this out there.
You gotta appreciate a good hairdresser, no matter who you are. You really do.
Shout out to author A.R. Sinal. I don't know if you're hearing this, darling, but thank you for hooking us up with author J.S. Snow. If not for A.R., we wouldn't have gotten J.S.
Thank you, A.R.
Thank you, baby. So there's that, definitely. Shout outs to the Spinwires. Holy shit. Shout outs to Beverly C. Alone. Shout outs to
shit, we are just
Ace
like...
and the Hooligans. Shout outs to me, goddammit. Go join the Internet-Get-a-thon and pimp it out.
I want to give a shout out.
You don't get one.
I want to give a shout out to my boy Kanye.
Who, without Kanye, would we gather together here to hate on Kanye?
Exactly. Without Kanye, who would people be insulting?
The Jersey Shore, Paris Hilton.
Hey,
they're still alive? Holy fuck, I thought they got killed.
I thought they died, yeah.
Jersey are intelligent, smart, and amazing. Like, they should be role models for every one of our kids. Like, crew cuts and blowouts and giant muscles and really tiny penises. So,
and clubbing.
What is with you and dicks? Jesus. So anyway, I think we have covered just about everything. Thank you again, JS. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And without further ado, that's jailbait ass. Okay.
Remember, spay and neuter your idiots.
Alright, guys. Be sure to check us out next week. We will have Spinwires on the show. Catch you later.
Oh, yes. Lights.
I love you.
Don't kill yourselves, please.
You
That'd
bet.
be very tragic. Bye, senpai!